So my guest is here. Excellent. Let me bring her on. I am joined. Come on, come on, come on. There we are. I'm joined with the one, the only, the beautiful, the great channel. Why are you laughing at that?
Because you're come up, having trouble pulling.
Sarah Bils. Sarah Bils is host of DD. Well, she's a Navy veteran and current editor for DD Geopolitics. She tends to be a gadfly on Twitter. I see you sometimes when you go onto your Twitter Spaces. How you doing, Sarah? You doing okay?
Good. I've kept to my word. I'm on my Twitter break, so you probably
Are you?
Spaces very much, but I'm on a Twitter cleanse. It's
How
glorious.
long have you been? How long have you been on your
About
Twitter?
a week, I think, since my birthday. Yeah, so a week.
I would have off myself. I
can't come in, but it's a lot. I can't feel like it's a lot of noise, but there's so much news going on, and it's also controversial that I'm glad that I'm
What is the most controversial story that you?
And
you're right. It is a lot of news.
In my spheres. It's the Syria stuff, honestly. This Syria.
Yeah. So I just had this conversation with Laith about it, and I want to get your take on it too. So this is. I showed this video before. I'll show it one more time. This is the bombing of Damascus. These groups,
the Alawites, the Christians,
the Christians. In this case, the Druze that just so happen to be part of it. Like anything that would potentially have a revolutionary, nationalistic spirit that could create a resurgence in Syria. That Al-Jolani would go through and break those elements, and his dogs were doing that. I mean, these people are just maniacs. But his thing is, if it falls, though, then they want it to be a failed state. And so by bombing the governmental buildings, by bombing any notion of Syria's ability to protect itself, whether it's air defense, because, after Syria fell, Israel went through on a bombing campaign day after day after day, just destroying all weapons, all stockpiles, all everything. And so the only weapons they have at their disposal are small arms. And so Laith's thing is they are trying to destroy any notion of Syria being able to resurge or come back to life. If indeed Al-Jolani falls, effectively, it ends up being a failed state. The other point of view is that the Druze community in Palestine was setting shit on fire. They were blocking roads. They were screaming like loud as possible, like do something, do something. Israel apparently opens up the gates for the Golan Heights. The Druze go streaming into the various areas to try to protect those areas. Israel goes on a bombing spree in this kind of maximum force type thing that they typically do. Now, it's weird to me, and I didn't understand it, because in one sense, you would have some Druze, the leadership saying, we blame the United States and Israel for allowing that dog to get into office. And then in another sense, you have them setting stuff on fire, saying, hey, go protect us. And it's like, okay, what is going on? What the hell is happening? The way Laith explains it is that there are two different sects. You have one that are belonging to Syria, which is more revolutionary in the way they look at the stuff. And the other one is serving in the Israeli military, is part of the Israeli government, part of Israel. And these two things, even though both of them are part of the same religious sect, have very different political priorities. But both of those political priorities end up being, hey, you need to protect your own from these dogs that are killing us. It's complicated. Like it really, like I saw that and I didn't know what to think. I was like, what the hell just happened?
Well, I think that's important, though, is for people, especially in this region, to understand the border, the kind of nationalism that crosses borders. And I think that is that's sort of understand. Well, actually, you know what? I think the borders are drawn strategically in a way so they cut people into pieces in these tribes. But then you also have the Lebanese Druze who have a different set of opinions. But they're coming in, they're trying to come in through their borders, and the Lebanese army are stopping them. And then you have split factions inside of Syria. That we had one faction accept a ceasefire, and the other faction say we're fighting. So the Druze get very, very complicated. They're very tribalistic. So there's a lot of familial grudges and whatnot. And so it's very, I don't want to say archaic because they're not an archaic people, but the culture or the society or maybe the relationships are they're almost like the Balkans in the sense that they're very old fashioned, very sort of barbaric in a way. So they're very tribal, but when it comes to a kind of fellowship, they do all band together, which is kind of how it's supposed to be in the end. But I do agree with Lath in the sense that they don't want Syria to rise up and they want it to be a failed state. What they really want, and I think you and I have talked about it actually, is they want Syria to be a buffer state. These dogs that you keep calling them dogs, the Jolani
I call them dogs. These guys are animals.
They are dogs. The dogs that are running around and hurting all of these minorities. They want to use them as regional force to subdue Hezbollah, and then to use it as a buffer and a cudgel against Iran, and then possibly into the Caucasus if they need them to. So yes, there's a lot of that. There's a lot of we don't really care about Jolani. He's quite disposable. There's nothing that says Jolani is who he is. Like we could pick anybody and make them do this job. I think that has a lot to do with it. He's really lacking in leadership quality. He can't get the people together. Even I'm not even talking about the civilians. He can't even get his dogs together. It's total chaos. And I feel like that's where they're at. They have a plan. The United States and Israel have a plan, and it's got a kind of a sort of timeline, though it's not ironclad. And this stuff in Syria is too messy and it's taking too long. And they told Jarrah not too long ago to get your act together. We need to use your dogs. I'm just going to call them that from now on. We need to use your guys as a regional army, and he can't get it together. So I think that they're like, we don't really need this guy.
I guess they don't. I mean, but there's so many different sects of HTS.
I know.
And I don't know how you corral all of these people. The speech that he gave is mind-blowing. I don't know if you heard the speech that he gave after the bombing.
It was late last night. I don't think I heard it. What? Can you give a...
Okay, yeah. So let me see if I can find it. Where is it? Okay. Listen to this. Now, again, his goons, dogs, whatever you want to call these animals, have been going through murdering en masse ethnic minorities all throughout Syria. This has been their mission. They want to create their caliphate. He says, our people rose up in a revolution to attain their freedom in triumphant, offering tremendous sacrifices. The people remain fully prepared to fight for the dignity should it come under any threat. The Israeli entity, which has always sought to destabilize us, sow discord among us since the fall of the former regime, is once again trying to turn our sacred land into an endless arena of chaos. Through this, it aims to fracture our unity, weaken our ability to continue on the path of reconstruction and national revival. The entity never ceases to use its every method to plant conflict and division, forgetting that Syrians, with their long history, has always rejected disunity and partition. Ain't that some shit? You have been literally murdering. Say it again. I'm sorry.
He wanted normalization. He was on the brink of normalization, and now what did he call them? The entity.
The entity. The Israeli entity.
Cool now. You don't get to be cool after you were negotiating with them.
And he still wants unity.
Yeah.
I mean, in fact, I'll give you another one. You're going to love this. So Marco Rubio and Donald Trump were sitting in the meeting. Where is the clip? Don't tell me I got it. Right here. I think this is it. Yeah. So Marco Rubio, Trump are sitting in the meeting. Listen to the way Rubio describes this and think of what he leaves out of this conversation. But they ask him, hey, Israel is bombing your client. You just got rid of sanctions. You're trying to have the Abraham Accords. And Israel is bombing the shit out of the ministry buildings. The presidential palace, no less. Yeah. Potentially the president is in it. But they're bombing shit out of the building. One of my subscribers pointed out that Ben-Gvir said Jolani needs to die, that they need to take his head. And
yes, they did. He called them the head of the snake. I don't know how many heads this snake has. It's got Iran as a head, Hezbollah has a head. It's like a 30-head snake. So now Jolani is the head of the snake. And yes, Ben-Gvir did come out yesterday and say we must cut the head off of the snake that is Jolani, and we must protect the Druze.
Wow, that's amazing to me. This is Trump or let's say Rubio, because Trump probably can't even spell Druze.
Yeah, it's complicated. Obviously, these are historic, long-time rivalries between different groups in the south west of Syria, Bedouins, the Druze community, and it led to an unfortunate situation and a misunderstanding, it looks like, between the Israeli side and the Syrian side. So we've been engaged with them all morning long and all night long with both sides, and we think we're on our way towards a real de-escalation and then hopefully get back on track.
Misunderstanding. I mean, dude, where's that clip? Where's that clip? They're blowing up the presidential palace. How's that a misunderstanding? Like, they're literally blowing up the building that the president is supposed to be in the defense ministry. I mean, you saw that explosion, and he's like, yeah, that's a misunderstanding. And what he's
you believe how we've gotten here, though? Like, this is all incrementalism. That, like, I mean, we've always done it with Israel, but it's never been this blatant. And over the last 2 years, I mean, that's the incrementalism that they've, and I say they, I mean, Israel in tandem with the United States, that they've kind of pushed us into. Oh my God, they're bombing the equivalent of the White House. It's a misunderstanding. Oh, you know, they're committing a genocide in Palestine. They're defending themselves. It's all these euphemistic sort of news speak, double speak, like, play everything down. It's what they do with Israel, especially.
Yeah, it's like that dangerous baby. I had to kill him because, you know, he was just super dangerous. I mean, this is a misunderstanding.
Yeah, that's the White House. People need to understand that's the White House. That's Syria's White House. That was just bombed like that. Through just the middle, down the sides, the whole thing. Bombed.
Just misunderstanding. Sarah, it's just, you're overreacting. Just misunderstanding. Just misunderstanding.
Right. And this is a country that has no air defense, no weapons to speak of, nothing other than really like small and maybe some medium arms to, like you said, his dogs to break up these groups or subdue them. But other than that, they have no method of defending themselves. He's begging for air defense. Like, what is this?
This poor woman.
Oh, I know.
الاحتلال الإسرائيلي إسرائيل كاتس إن الجيش سيواصل مهاجمة قوات.
She was supposed to stay there and do the news. She failed at her responsibility.
Oh dear.
She was supposed to stay there and do the news. That's what I'm saying. She was supposed to stay there.
If Israel's having a misunderstanding, I'm not doing the news. I'm leaving. I don't want to be misunderstood by Israel.
I would have preferred to leave with a bit more dignity. That's all.
Like, oh.
Like, be like, all right, time to go. Get my coffee. Like she was like ducking out of it. Like the guy. Well, I'm clearly poking fun at her. Yeah. The guy in Iran that time where they were bombing the television station in Iran. That guy stayed and did the news.
He just sat there like.
Yep. He was like, I got stuff to do. Let me finish this up. And the woman's like, whatever. It's like, wow, that is strength. You can't beat that country. You can't beat a country doing that.
Female in Syria that did this in the when Assad was falling. So another female in Syria did this. She stayed, but I think she wound up getting killed. So.
Yeah, you know.
The Iranian video was inspiring. Very fantastic.
Yeah. That was inspiring. It's like, God, man, I want to be that guy when I grow up. I want to be able to do the news like that. It's like you're getting bombed, like literally bombed. You're like, I got to finish this up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know what they're going to do with that. I mean, I imagine Al-Jolani is still going to continue to bend over, and still, it's like because that's what all he's been doing the entire time. Al-Jolani hasn't fired a shot in anger, not once. And for all of the attacks, the occupation, at no point did any of his dogs go after Israel. And yet they've been invading and expanding further and further into Syria. And so it's like, okay, so the integrity of a country that you are supposed to be in charge of is being completely and continuously eroded. And you are still like, hey man, I just want to be buds. I just want to be dudes. Can we just hang out? And Ben Gvir is like, we need to kill that guy. Hey man, I just want to hang out. I just want to be your guy. It's like, okay, dude, like at some point, I still don't think they're going to fire a shot in anger. And despite them blowing up the presidential palace, it's not like they did anything about it. So.
They can't really. I mean, really, what could they do about it? Honestly, I mean, like in the grand scheme of things, what could they do about it? They have
How
no
about not?
political currency. They have no military. They have no nothing. They have a bunch of this was so predictable from the beginning. We have a ragtag band of brothers put together by Turkey and Idlib. I actually just finished this really great book about Syria. But it talks about what Turkey did in Idlib to get these people kind of ready to go, intermarrying them. Now there's all these mixed families in Idlib, these children and stuff, and these aren't like organized militias. Even in the best case scenario, they're armed terrorists that are just running around willy-nilly. That's what they utilized to overthrow Assad. Of course, you could get them to center around overthrowing Assad, but you should have known from experience, especially in Syria. We've already done this in Syria. That once the leader is weakened or falls, all of these groups form vying for power, and you just can't. And then they change names, and then they break up, and then they come back, and like so. It's just par for the course. It's just another case of the United States kind of repeating the same thing. And I don't think that in this instance they even expect a different result because they're ready to just kill the guy and move on. I
don't think they care.
No, they don't.
I really don't think they care. And that's the other thing. I got to be honest with you and give me your take on this. I thought that part of the rationale for allowing a caliphate, for lack of a better word, to take place in Syria was because nobody cares if you take down a terrorist. Like, meaning, it's one thing if you have an actual leader of a country. Okay, that's provocative. But a terrorist is a terrorist. And all things being equal, Jolani, he may shave his beard. He may, do whatever. At the end of the day, he was a head chopper. His hands are stained with the blood of people's heads that he chopped off. And he's still presiding over a group. I'll go with the dog thing. So I'll stay consistent. Presiding over a group of dogs who've been going through and murdering people left and right. I just saw the hospital thing on your channel. That is grotesque. I can't even show it on YouTube. I wish I could. Where they went through the hospital and effectively murdered all of those people and they just left bodies strewn all over the place. That is what Jolani is presiding over. So if you're Israel, what does it matter if you kill him? Like, that's the part, that was the part that was confusing also. It's like, these people are animals. Do I really care? Like, it's like, okay, what animal do I vote for if Israel is murdering, like if one animal is attacking another animal? Who do I, and no, you don't necessarily need a person to root for, but it's kind of awkward when you're looking at this like, okay, I don't know what to do with this. There's no good or bad side in this. Both of these groups are animals. One animal is bombing another animal because the animal was killing other people. All right, where do I go with that? It's very possible that part of the rationale for allowing Jolani to take over is because there's no issue with taking down Jolani. Nobody's going to cry for him.
There's also a really good story that they can curate around this, which I saw kind of coming a little bit to fruition yesterday. I don't remember who I was talking to. It was Zionists or Israelis or something, but they were saying, well, we must protect the Christians. And I said, oh, hell no, you don't. No,
right there. You got to expand into Syria to protect the Christians.
We must protect the Christians. I said, what about the Christians inside of Israel? One. What about the Christians? They were slaughtering them from February to April. Now you woken up? Like, there's no Christians left. Like, what are you talking about?
You got to protect the
narrative. We got to protect the. Well, I said yesterday. They said, do you understand why this is happening? I said, of course. I mean, I don't agree, but it's because of the fighting in the South and the Druze and all of that. And they're like, no, we must stop the genocide of Christians and the Alawites. I said, what the hell? Did you guys start caring? But if they wrap it up in that, then it becomes this noble sort of, we're protecting the Druze, the Christians, and the Alawites from these savage Turkish dogs.
I know we're committing a genocide here.
No.
Damn it, we need to protect the Christians.
Self-defense.
Right. That is, God, man. Sometimes I hate language. Sometimes I love it. Like, sometimes I get a high off of when people can put words together in a way that just is kind of emancipatory, euphoric. This language I don't like. This is depressing. No. It's like, yeah, we're defending ourselves against that rabid baby, and we're protecting the Christians over here, so we have to expand into Syria and take more territory.
Yeah. We spit on the Christians here, but we're going to protect them in Syria.
Yeah. Oh God, that's horrible. What's another main story that you've been getting? This was for me. There are days that are very difficult for me to find stories. And there
Really?
was,
Even with Trump going and crashing out so much?
but see, that's just it though. Like when you do a show every day for
You
3
can't
hours.
talk about him crashing out every day. It's just
Yeah, it's like every day you're hitting. Like I'll tell you this: when the war first started, when the Ukraine war first started, I had just met my ex-girlfriend, my current ex-girlfriend, my current ex. That sounds weird. My ex. Yeah, I don't know how to say that because that sounds weird. But whatever. I had just met her. Life had gotten exciting. I had just left my wife. Well, I didn't leave her. My wife left me, but we separated. And so life had gotten very exciting. And then you added a war onto it.
Mhm.
And it was a war that I was like, I cannot believe people are killing each other like this. And there's a huge amount of energy built into it. And that energy is there for about 2 months. And then after a while, you're like, okay.
Yeah, you let it go.
Same war. Yeah, there's nowhere else to go with it. It's like,
You get war fatigue almost. Your body's like, I can't stay like keyed up this high about this topic. We got to stop. And
you
I feel
said
that
everything
way
you
about
wanted to.
Trump too. Like every time a post comes out, I'm like, oh my God, I don't even want
Yeah.
to read it, let alone talk about it. But I
It's
thought
so-
yesterday's
it's so-
post was kind of wild, didn't you? The long one?
Which one? Oh yes, I saw. You mean the very long one where he says it's Obama, Clinton?
Yeah.
they're coming- I'll show you the clip. I pulled the clip. This is Trump attacking his base. Is this right? Yeah, he's attacking his supporters.
Yes.
There's another one where he called in on a radio show and he brought it up. he brought it up. But this one, this is so wild to me. And by the way, nobody is accepting this. Even the most cultish, with the exception of Ben Shapiro, that asshole is accepting it, that goofball. But even his hardcore supporters are like, dude,
Oh,
why
yeah.
are you a pedophile? Like, this is outrageous. This is Trump throwing his body.
On the grenade. It's wild. This is wild.
Yeah.
Look at the results already. So we have 16 trillion.
YouTube section this morning, you mentioned past supporters when you were talking about the Epstein issue. Does that mean that you're effectively disowning any supporters who are now
I lost a
calling?
lot of faith in certain people. Yeah, I lost because they got duped by the Democrats. The Democrats are good for nothing. They've done a terrible job. They almost destroyed our country. If I didn't get elected, all these numbers you're hearing about, they found $25 billion and another 25 is coming in and hundreds of billions of dollars is pouring into our country. And we just got the biggest tax cut in history. We just got the biggest regulation.
He is trying to argue after Dan Bongino, Kash Patel, what's her name? The very attractive woman who's press secretary, Pam
Carolyn
Bondi, not press
Leavitt?
secretary, AG,
Pam Bondi.
Attorney General. He is trying to argue that, look, I know all of these people who were in my administration spent years talking about Epstein files and that the Democrats won't release them because all of them are pedophiles and blah, blah, blah.
Mhm.
That this is now just a Russia gate type hoax
It's crazy.
perpetrated by Obama, Clinton, and Comey. And they're just out to get me.
That is actually the worst move he probably could have made, honestly.
How does that work?
And he's alienating his base. You know,
Yeah.
I'm not a MAGA. Obviously, we're not MAGA, but I do listen to MAGA. I like to know what they're talking about, and what they're thinking, and some of the staunchest people that we would make fun of because of how, how much they were willing to go into denial or cognitive dissonance for Trump have been like. I heard one the other day saying, if it comes down to burning down the government or not releasing this list and protecting pedophiles, I want to burn down the government. And I was actually
Yeah.
really shocked that
Yeah.
that came from someone who was a very strong proponent of MAGA. This is definitely separating the wheat from the chaff, but in this instance, it's basically separating the sycophants from people that have a shred of integrity left. I mean, these podcasters have no integrity anyway. I honestly hope it's the end for them, but it does separate them from that. And he's calling podcasters. He talked to Ben Shapiro, who's always on his side no matter what, because, it's
Yeah.
Israel. And he talked to Charlie Kirk. He called Charlie Kirk to make sure that the messaging was correct. So these people are just take sellers on online, and he's alienating the people who question him. This is a really bad sign.
Yeah.
This whole
Tucker lost it. Tucker was like, I'm not saying there should be a revolution, but damn it, if there is one, this would be a reason for
I
it.
mean, I was talking to someone last night about it, and I think it's the newspeak that really is the grating part. It's like the deny what your eyes have seen and just believe what I tell you. This Epstein thing, I'm not an Epstein head. Obviously, I very much care about child trafficking, but I didn't get deep in those rabbit holes. There's people that hung their entire careers on this. Not saying that they were wrong or they're victimized. I'm saying they were right. They hung their careers on this because they knew how serious it was. I mean, look at Wendy Webb. She's about to come out with a whole new blog series. And then for you to sit here and tell us, all of us, even down to the most layest of layperson, that this isn't real or it's a hoax is insulting. It's insulting and degrading, and it's just, I don't know, it's disgusting.
It's like, why is Ghislaine Maxwell in jail then?
And that's the other thing. Now we have this strange situation with Ghislaine who's saying, well, I'm going to do a tell-all if you don't give me a pardon. And I said, I don't want either of those things. Because, I mean, this could also be a sort of game that the government's playing, saying, we'll give you a pardon and you can do your tell-all, but we're going to guide the tell-all, and then it'll really be squashed. I don't want a friggin' tell-all from Ghislaine Maxwell.
It's weird. Because, Acosta came out when Acosta first locked Epstein up years ago. And Acosta was told by somebody above him that, look, he is intelligence. He's above your pay grade. Cut him loose. Mm-hmm. And so this is what Acosta was telling the Trump people when the Trump people were effectively talking to him, saying, like, why did you give a pedophile a sweetheart deal? He's intelligent. I was told him to cut him loose. Okay, so right off the bat, Donald Trump knows, and his team knows, that even his own people who are doing, let's say, quote unquote, due diligence, acknowledge the man is intelligence. Okay, so then the catch becomes, okay, what intelligence? Mossad, what? And intelligence in what sense? Okay, well, what is his defining characteristic? He's a pedophile. And so it's like the idea that Donald Trump is like, Epstein, what Epstein? Who's Epstein? I don't even know Epstein exists. There is no such thing as Epstein. It's like, dude, you were friends with the guy for like 20 years. So why are we pretending now as if you're blissfully unaware, like there is no spoon? You were friends with the guy. Mm-hmm. This isn't working. I don't know if anybody's helping Trump with messaging. I don't know if somebody's trying to give him some way to work his way through. Saying Comey, Obama doesn't work. It just doesn't work.
They said they were going to, then they said, oh, we'll investigate Comey and Brennan or whatever his name is. And it's like, what?
Really? Yeah, really.
For what? What is that going to, and and this is the erosion of trust. I don't know that Trump cares. I think he knows, but I don't know that he cares. Once you lose, I mean, really, what does the dollar rest on? Our faith and trust in the government. What does the military rest on? Our faith and trust in the government. We have no faith and trust in the government. This is anarchy.
But it's been anarchy for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, to be honest,
yeah, it's literally anarchy.
I mean, rules-based order isn't just anarchy. It's law of the jungle. Mm-hmm. That's all it is. They just give it a newspeak name to it. Hey, let's call law of the jungle rules-based order. That's what we're going to call it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all it is, right? Like,
I mean, this happened with COVID. It started with COVID, this sort of erosion in the trust of the government. I mean, this is the thing about Trump is he does a lot of this cutting off your nose to spite your face. He's the one who started the fake news thing, which has kind of snowballed into a general distrust of everything. Yeah. And then the government, and now we're going to this end, and he's going absolutely balls to the wall and saying, I'm the only truth teller here. Trust me only. And I don't know that people can do that. I think that's too far of a leap.
I mean, Donald Trump is a habitual liar. My dad used to be a habitual liar. I mean, like, I know a habitual liar.
There's people in MAGA that can justify that and say, oh, he lies for the greater good, or he lies to, help us or whatever. But at this juncture, what can you say? He's lying to protect pedophiles. He's lying.
This is not Rick and Morty, right? Yeah. Like where the noble lie. This is not a noble lie.
Noble.
Like with the king.
It's not going to work in this instance, especially since the cat got so far out of the bag. It was like all the way out until like the tail, and then they stuffed it back in really fast. You can't let them see the whole cat and then put it back in the bag. You know, and
It's
that's
like,
exactly what
it's like,
happened. They went
did you
too
see a cat?
far.
Nope, I didn't see
They
any cat.
went
No
too
cats.
far. They went too far with the I got the files on my desk. They went too far with the 10,000 hours of video. They just went too far with the
Yeah.
we're going to release them. We promise you. This whole wanting to appease people, and then they realized they couldn't. Like this is like this is the art of the deal.
But see, and I'm going to let you go. Trump is complicated on some of this stuff because the news media does lie. I know what you're saying, that there was a radical delegitimization of elections, news media, the medical community, all of that stuff, almost all at once.
Right.
It's like, but they do lie.
They do, but don't you think that it contributed to a much higher distrust society?
It does. No, it does. But that goes back to a noble lie, right? Do we pretend like the media is telling us the truth when it's not, just so we can have some sense of trust when the trust really shouldn't be there? Like, for example, when I'm sitting at the radio station, when I was working at the radio station, I was blown away at how much shit they got wrong. And some of the stuff just seems intentional. And you're sitting there like, they're like, well, Russia just attacked Ukraine for no reason. It's like, what? What are you talking about? Russia blew up its own pipeline. Why would they do that? And some of the stuff was just so comically stupid. They would say, Assad gassed his own people. And you say, right. And it's like, but he's taking back 80% of his territory. Why would he do that? Because he's a bad guy. So you're telling me that he's a cartoon villain? That's the reason why he's gassing his own people? Yes.
Yes.
And after a while, you're like, okay, dude.
That's flipped for me. Now I don't trust the alternative media. I mean, I have my colleagues and my friends that I obviously trust, but the labeled, the accepted alternative media, these podcasters, I'm like, I'd rather read the Wall Street Journal.
Yeah. I mean, the interesting thing, you can read the New York Times and it may be 20 paragraphs down.
Oh, yeah, we always talk about that. It's like at the bottom.
Right. It's like at the very bottom. You're like, there it is. There it is. Or you have to kind of read around what they're saying. They're saying it.
But I like that. It makes it kind of fun, don't you think? It makes it into like a little game. It's like a crossword puzzle. The New York Times has so many games that they don't even know. It's like a little.
It's just strange.
But there's always little kernels of truth. That's why I love the New York Times and the Wall Street Journal. Because they give you such great platforms to be like, I'm going to go research this little sentence that they like revealed somewhere in this random paragraph. So many of my articles come from like reading these things and be like, they missed one of the most interesting parts about this, I think. And then I go research that. But alternative media isn't even doing that. Not us. I'm talking about MAGA alternative media. They're not even doing that. It's like, I'm going to read you Trump's tweet. Okay. What does it mean? I don't know. I can't analyze anything. I'm just here to read it.
Are you telling me that they do videos just saying this is what Trump said?
Yes. All they talk about is what Trump said, the Epstein files, the Twitter drama. These people are crazy. And stay away from America. You're doing great.
We can make a living doing that. There's a guy,
H.J. Goodman. But they can.
H.J. Goodman used to be a lefty.
Oh, my Lord.
And he made his bones with Hillary Clinton emails. Every show was butter emails. And he went from, let's say, like 20,000 to like 100,000 in a very short period of time because all of these right-wingers start piling onto his show saying, oh, what does H.J. Goodman have to tell us today about Hillary Clinton? And it was just trashing Clinton. And eventually he started doing guns. He started shooting guns. Then he started, and his audience effectively pushed him so far to the right that he just became a right-winger. It was bizarre.
A fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah, it was weird.
I don't think my audience could ever push me politically. I feel like my colleagues could, but I don't think my audience could.
My audience couldn't do either. I would just lose them. I mean, for COVID, for example, they were completely against me on COVID. Completely. Even to this day, they said Jamal lost his fucking mind on COVID. And I'm like, I don't care. I don't care what I heard.
About COVID. I was like,
they said he lost his mind on COVID. You could see him in the chat. They would start putting things. It's like, yeah, he's out of his mind on COVID. He's wrong on COVID. He's wrong on COVID. You would be surprised. Sarah, you are fantastic.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for this. You have a good one, okay?
You guys,
Sarah Bils, editor, DD Geopolitics. Check her out. They do fantastic work. Oh, by the way, have you guys started doing shows? You got I just want to make sure. So the
Yeah, you
audience
want to
knows.
come on? I'll text you.
Yeah, sure. I'll
Sunday.
come on.
We'll come on Sunday. I'll text you.
Okay, I'm down.
Thanks,
Wait,
Jamar.
what time first? What time?
Oh, 2 p.m. Pacific. It might be a little late for you. I don't know where you're at right now, Carmen, San Diego.
Shit. All right, you got me doing math. All right, 2 p.m. Pacific is
It's noon in
what time
Moscow.
is it ET?
Oh, 5 p.m.
Okay, so the 5. I could do it. It's 5 a.m.
I'll text you.
Okay, I'll do it. I'm done.
All right,
You
bye.
come on my
Have a
show
good
all the time.
weekend,
That's what I
guys.
do. You be safe. Have a good one. Thank you for this. I
We're
really
pro
appreciate it.
Jelani now.
No, we're not. No, we're not. No, we're not.